We're going to start in a seated position, Sukhasana if that feels good. And if you like listening to music while you do your work, go ahead and throw some music on. Okay, so starting in a comfortable seated position, and then actually we're going to make our way down to the ground. So if you like that ease of transition, sit in Sukhasana in a way that then from there you can lower onto your back, whatever that means to you. But if ease of transition doesn't matter to you, then just sit in a comfortable seat, get nice and tall in your spine, and then just think about letting your shoulders kind of soften down away from your ears. And then once you found your way here, just for a moment, if it's comfortable to do so, close your eyes down. Just notice your physical body exactly as it is. And then as you're noticing your physical body here, just notice if there's anything that needs rearranging. If you're really super comfortable, awesome, stay exactly as you are. But if there's anything that was like holding a little tension here or efforting a little bit here, can you readjust so that you're sitting up nice and tall, but there's not too much effort going on? Can you soften your jaw? Eyes open or closed, that'll be totally up to you. But now we're just going to kind of get a sense of the space around you. So start by noticing the floor underneath your butt, underneath your legs. And then eyes open or closed, but can you get a sense of the walls around you? Just tuning in and noticing your spatial awareness. So noticing where the walls would be and then getting a feeling for that space between you and the walls around you. And then bring your awareness back to your seat. Notice the ground underneath you, and then draw your awareness upward. So noticing the space above you, the ceiling above you. And then come to this idea or this understanding of this like encompassed spaciousness around you. So notice the air on your skin. Notice the freedom of your body to move, to breathe in and out. Take one more moment here, just tuning into that spaciousness around you. And then we're going to see if we can bring that spatial awareness to the rib cage. So we want to start to tune in a little bit closer to home, focusing in on the rib cage, and we're going to focus on our rib cage breathing. If it helps you to find it, bring your hands to your ribs. But if you're really getting a sense of where that rib breath action is happening, you can keep your hands wherever is the most comfortable. Eyes open or closed, that's totally up to you. But can you take a nice, generous inhale, fill your lungs up, and just tune in, feel that movement of breath in your rib cage. So ribs expand as you breathe in. Exhale, and the ribs contract or draw in towards each other. Inhale, and the ribs expand. Exhale, and the ribs draw in. Inhale, lungs fill up, ribs expand, diaphragm moves down. Exhale, air comes out of the lungs, ribs draw in, diaphragm moves up. Take one more breath here, just noticing that movement of breath in the ribs. Awesome. And then before we move away from this place of stillness, just take a moment here to set an intention to honor your mind and your body throughout your practice, never doing anything in your practice that would cause your body pain, and treating yourself with love, care, and respect. Great. And then with that intention set, so we're going to do a little work with our hands and then a little work with our eyes. So if you've got a really great vision and you can still see your screen, then you might choose to take your glasses off right away. But if you feel like you want to be able to see the screen first and then take your glasses off, do the variation that works best for you. You know your eyes the best. But we're going to start with our hands. So start by just picking your hands up, give your hands a little wiggle, maybe scrunch them in and out, just kind of get a sense of how your hands feel. Are they warm or are they cool? Do the muscles feel stiff or are they soft? Any crackling or crunching in the joints or the bones, just kind of tune in and notice how your hands feel. And then we're going to make some light piano fingers. Take one hand and just tap gently onto the palm and up the fingers. And then if it helps here, maybe just close your eyes down for a moment, notice, tune in, feel that sensation. One more little tap up and down on this side, and then we're going to take it over to the other side. So piano fingers over to the palm, up and down to the fingertips and down to the edge of the heel of your hand. And then again, if it helps, close your eyes down and just tune in and notice. Nice. And now we're going to get our fingers so that they're a little bit crisscrossed and the palms are going to meet. And then we're going to start to rub the palms together. So a soft position with those fingers so that the fingers can slide in and out of each other. And here's a nice place, if you like, just to close your eyes down for a moment. Notice that sensation between the fingers. Notice the gentle sensation in your palms. Take one more time here and then just switch the little interlace of your fingers and then come right back to that. And then just notice how different that feels, just that little awkward cross of the fingers. Notice how that feels. Take one more moment here. And then now it's the time to take off your glasses. If you don't already have them off, place them somewhere safe. We're going to come back to that rubbing of the palms. So we're going to fire up those palms, get them really nice and good and warm. And then once you feel like you found a good sense of warmth in your palms, take your palms and cup them into your eyeballs. So we're going to take the heels of the hands into the eyeballs and let your head rest into the palms of your hands. Take a couple of nice deep breaths here. Keeping your eyes covered if you can. If it's too uncomfortable or if it makes you feel anxious, feel free to remove it at any point. But if you can keep your eyes covered, now just tune in and notice the sounds around you. Just listen into the room that you're working in. Take one more breath here. And then releasing your hands from your eyes, gently lift your head up. And if you can, just let your hands float down to a comfortable position. Let them rest wherever feels the best. Eyes still closed if you can, and then just kind of tune in and notice. So you might notice that filtered light coming in through your eyelids. You might notice a sense of fluttering or just a little bit of movement of the eyeballs underneath your eyelids. Take one more moment. And then keeping your eyes closed if you can, your head is going to stay in a stationary position and you're just going to start to look your eyeballs side to side. So you're going to feel that gentle movement of your eyeballs underneath your eyelids. You'll maybe notice a subtle change of filtered light. One more turn of the eyes side to side, and then still keeping the eyelids down if you can. If you need to open them, feel free to do so. But if you can keep the eyelids down and it feels comfortable to do so, now you're going to just with your eyeballs, look up and down. So the head is going to stay in a stationary position. Eyelids are going to stay closed down to the best of your ability, and you're just going to look at the eyeballs up and down. So notice here, notice the muscle action that's happening. Notice the change of filtered light. One more time, up and down. And then as your eyes come back to a neutral central location, Gently open your eyes. If you took your glasses off, go ahead and put them back on. And now we're going to take it into a little twist, but cue is going to be all throughout the entire practice today. I'm going to say eyes first. So you're going to look with your eyes first. So you're going to start with a little turn of the head. So you're going to look with your eyeballs first, look over your left shoulder, and then eyes are going to draw the line first. So you're going to look with your eyes, start to turn your head to the left, but look with your eyes first. So look your eyes as far as they can possibly go, and then let the head turn follow. Hold the position as long as you can, and then when you're ready, soften your eyes, return your head back to center, and then we're going to go the other way. So our eyes are going to look first. So turn your eyes, let your eyes lead the way. As your eyes start to turn to the right, then your head follows. So eyes are going to keep looking further than your head turns. Go as far as feels comfortable, and once you've reached your edge, return back to center nice and slow. Once you come back to center, close your eyes down for just a second. Let your eyes relax. Take a nice big breath. Awesome. And then open your eyelids, and now we're going to go up and then down. So start with the eyes. Eyes are going to look up first, and then eyes are going to look up and chin is going to lift. So we're going to let the eyes look first. Let the head follow the movement of the eyes. Go just as far as you can. Once you hit a point where you're a little bit too much efforting in the head and the neck, stop there. Take one good breath. Soften your eyes. Gently bring your chin back to a level set. Close your eyes just for a second. Take a nice deep breath. Open your eyes, and now we're going to go down. So eyes are going to look first. You're going to look your eyeballs down first, and then let the head follow. So eyes are going to look. Eyes are looking further than the chin is going. Go all the way down. So looking towards the chest, see how far you can look down towards your chest. And then once you feel like you've hit a point where it's just a little too much efforting in the back of the neck, pause there, take a nice big breath. And then when you're ready, release your eyes, lift your head back to center, and then take a second, kind of shrug out your shoulders. So there's this big connection, the eyes, the head, the neck, and the shoulder. So if you picked up any tension in your shoulders when you were doing that work, just take a second to kind of wriggle it out. And then when you feel ready, we're just going to find our way down onto our back. So send your legs out, maybe give everything a little wiggle, especially if you're in that seated position and you need a little blood flow back into your legs. But then when you're ready, come down onto your back without much ceremony, just come down onto your backside. Feet are going to be in a bent knee position. Feet about hip width distance apart, heels a little bit close to the butt. Once you've got that all arranged, we're going to take a second to find neutral pelvis, neutral spine. So fingertips are going to find those bony hip points. Take a couple of pelvic tilts here, nothing fancy, and you don't even need to worry about the breath. We just want to find that sense of movement in the hips. Notice the curve of your back, notice your tailbone. And now noticing where those front hip bones are, also get a sense of where the pubic bone is. If it helps you find it, heels on the protruding hip bones, fingertips on the pubic bone. And what we want to find is a level set for the pelvis here. So imagine that you're using a level like you would for construction. And then think about the space between the pubic bone and those front protruding hip bones. That's the space where you would line up the bubble on your construction level. So we're going to see if we can line up the pubic bone with those front protruding hip bones. And that's going to help us find that level pelvis or neutral pelvis. So if you can line up the pubic bone with those bony hip points, and then notice here the natural curve of your back. So you might have a slightly more exaggerated curve in your back than you think is natural. So once you feel like you've got your hips in that level set, hold that position, and then draw the backs of your ribs into the ground. So you're going to still have that natural curve of the back, but now you're going to also have neutral spine because the backs of the ribs are going to touch down. So once you feel like you're there, you might have found that the core fired up just a little bit. We're going to hold that neutral spine, neutral pelvis position. Let your arms come out in anatomical position. So palms facing up, arms about 45 degrees away from the body. With your head in a neutral position, all of this container of neutral spine, neutral pelvis, we're going to try to keep and maintain that the best we can. So we're going to keep a nice firmness in our center. But now we're going to just keep our head in a neutral position and look your eyeballs side to side. So with your eyes open, head's going to stay as stationary as it can. And this is going to give us a lot of feedback. So you're turning your eyes side to side, but the head should stay pretty steady. And you have to find that effort to keep and maintain neutral spine, neutral pelvis. So just turning the eyes side to side here. Now, the next time your eyes look to the right, hold it there. Eyes are turning, head is in neutral, spine is in neutral. Hold your eye gaze. Hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Return your eyes to center, take a breath. Everything else is going to still stay as it is. So we're still maintaining neutral spine, neutral pelvis. Head stays in that central neutral position. And now turn your eyes to the left. Hold that position, looking as far to the left as you can. Hold it there for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Return your eyes to center, take a breath. And now we're going to look up. So eyes are going to look up as far as they can. Everything else stays stationary. So neutral spine, neutral pelvis, head stays in that neutral position, looking just the eyeballs up as far as you can, holding that upward looking sensation for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release your eyes back to center. Anything else that needs adjustment, take a second to do it. Neutral spine, neutral pelvis, head in that neutral position. And now eyes are going to look down. So head is going to stay stationary. Eyeballs look down and hold that downward looking sensation for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Return your eyes to center. Soften that position. So soften your pelvis, soften your spine, maybe even give everything a little wiggle jiggle, wiggle your tush, wiggle your fingers, let everything go. Take a nice big breath. And then from here, toe heel your feet out a little bit wider so that you're going to get ready for your windshield wipers. Windshield wipers with the knees, but add the head turn as well. And then as you add that head turn, see if you can have your eyes lead the head turn. So look your eyes first and then let your head follow. Knees are just going to take that natural position, windshield wipers that you know and love. The next time your knees drop to the right and head turns to the left, stay there. Let the knees get nice and heavy. See if you can look your eyes just a little bit further and notice what that does to the head turn. Take one good breath. Relax your eyes, bring your head to center, knees to center. We're going to turn the head to the right, knees over to the left. Once you've got that position, knees get nice and heavy, turn your eyes a little bit further. So look your eyes further and notice what happens to your head. Take a nice big breath. Release your eyes, bring your head back to center, knees to center, and then walk your feet in a little bit closer. So feet are back to that hip width distance apart. And now we're going to take our pelvic tilt with our breath. So reversing the breath. Inhale in a neutral position. Exhale nice and slow. Inhale, press your low back into the earth. Exhale, release to the natural curve of your back. Inhale, press your low back down. Exhale to release. One more time. Inhale, press your low back down. Exhale to release. Beautiful. Bring your right knee into your chest. Hold onto your knee. Let your hands do the heavy lifting. Draw your knee in circles. Go in one direction. Draw your knee in circles. Go the other way. Awesome. And then when you're ready, we're going to switch to the other leg. So set the right leg down. Bring the left knee into your chest. Take your left knee. Draw it in circles. Go in one direction. Take your knee, draw it in circles, go the other way. Beautiful. And then pull both knees into the chest. A light little squeeze, maybe a gentle rock side to side. Just kind of tune in. Notice how's your back feeling. Did you pick up any tension in your neck or your chest as we were doing that eye work, which can be straining? So make sure that you just monitor how it feels in your body. And then if anything becomes too much, lighten up. But if it feels good to do that work and find just a little bit of awareness of your eyes and the connection points there, you go as far as feels right to you. When you're ready, we're going to start to rock and roll up. We're going to rock and roll up to a nice seated ragdoll. So catch a little momentum, rock and roll up, nice generous bend in the knees, maybe feet about shoulder width distance apart. Think up and over with the belly, fold yourself forward, a little softness through the back of the body, and then see if you can tune in. Notice the breath in the back of your ribs, maybe that expansive breath in the side of the ribs as well. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Two more cycles of breath. Wonderful. When you're ready, nice and slow, walk yourself up and in. We're going to send the legs in a little bit closer, out a little bit longer, but still keep a micro bend in the knees. So knees are bent, think up and over. So we're going to reach the arms up, pull the belly up and over, exhale, reach towards your feet. We're not going to stay very long, but just quickly notice the backs of your legs and then gently slide your hands up the sides of the legs. We're going to pick up the right leg. So let the left leg be soft. Use your hands to hold that leg and then lift up, flex the foot, lift your chin, lift your gaze. So eyes are going to look a little further than before. Bend the knees, tuck your chin slightly towards your chest. Lift the foot, lift your gaze. So let your head follow the gaze. Bend and release it back down. We're going to do that one more time. Lift your foot, lift your gaze. So let your head follow your gaze. Bend and bring it down. And now we're going to release, take it over to the other side. So pick up the back of that left leg. Let your right leg be soft, and then away we go. Inhale and lift your gaze, let your head follow your gaze. Bend and bring it down, chin tucked slightly, and you can let your eyes lead the way here as well. Inhale, lift your gaze, let the head follow. Lower it down, let your eyes lead the charge. Lovely, one more time. Lift your gaze, lift your foot. Lower it down, let the gaze lead the way. Awesome. And then send that leg nice and long. Now we're going to bend the right leg, bring it in like your leg is in a tree position. So the foot is going to come to the inner thigh, knee is going to be externally rotated, but hips are still facing forward. Take a nice big breath and then invite a bend into that left knee. Keep that left knee bent. Think up and over, look forward, look past your foot if you can. Reach with your fingers. Keep your gaze forward, looking past your foot if you can. And then if you can, catch hold of the bottom of your foot. Make a little basket weave. Keep looking past your foot. So in our yoga practice, one of the things that we have is drishti, our focused gaze. Focused gaze can also mean that inward focus. So it's not always just an eyeball focus, but for today, we're going to focus our drishti as our eyeball gaze. So looking past the foot, almost as if you're trying to reach your spine past your foot purely by looking forward. Take one more moment here. And then when you're ready, release nice and slow, lean back into your sits bones, switch. Nothing fancy, just switch the legs. So right leg long, left foot to the inside. And then once you're there, bend that right knee, reach up. So think up and over, look forward, keep your gaze forward, keep reaching with your gaze first. Everything else follows. So we're looking way past the foot. And then if you can catch hold of the foot, awesome, make a little basket weave, hold on to the foot. If you can't catch hold of the foot, no worries there, but keep your gaze forward. Keep reaching long with the gaze. Everything else is going to follow the gaze. Beautiful. When you're ready, release your foot, lift the gaze, come all the way back up. And then we're going to spin both legs around, find your way into a tabletop position. Once you found your way into your tabletop position, just do a quick little assess. Make sure your knees feel good, wrists feel good. If you need to cushion your knees or cushion your wrists, take a second to do it. And then once you're here in this tabletop position, gaze down at the floor. So that space right between your thumbs. And then just here for a moment, tune in and notice something new. Notice the texture of your mat or whatever is directly in line with your focus. Notice the periphery without moving your eyes. Can you notice the edges of your mat? Can you kind of get a sense of the walls around you? Can you notice the line of your mat, the front edge of your mat? Can you notice your knees without having to move your eyes too much? Take one more moment here to notice. And now we're going to move into a cat-cow breath, but our eyes are going to lead the charge. So as you inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest, lift your tail, but eyes lead the way. And then as you exhale, look down first with the eyes and let everything else follow. Inhale, eyes lift first, everything else follows. Exhale, eyes lead first and everything else follows. Take about 3 more cycles of breath. Just find your way here. It's not always easy, and I sometimes find that my eyes lose their focus. So see if you can just find it for yourself. Take one more cycle of breath. Awesome. And then find a neutral spine and move right into C spine. But now we're going to let our gaze focus first. So you're going to look over the shoulder first, squeeze in at the side body, release that vision, and then take it over to the other side. So you're going to look over the left shoulder first, let the squeeze come second. Come back to a neutral position, look over the right, gaze comes first, bring it back to center, and then over to the other side. Take one more time each side and just let it follow your pace. Let your eyes lead the way. Beautiful. And then as you come back to center, we're going to take it into our puppy pose. So hips are going to stay in line with the knees. Hands are going to walk to the top edge of your mat. Gaze forward. So look to the top edge of your mat and then let the chest soften down. Once you feel like you've found a good space for your chest and your shoulders, now let your gaze soften towards the floor or towards that, just that neutral position so that your forehead softens towards your mat. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. 2 more cycles of breath. If it feels good to do so here for a moment, close your eyes down. It's a lot of efforting in the eyes. So you want to make sure that you're finding that balance of soft position and then focused position. Take one more breath. When you're ready, bring it back up to that neutral tabletop position. We're going to slide the right leg back, toes curled under. Just take a couple of gentle rocks forward and back. Loosen up the back of your leg. Notice here, you might have picked up a little bit of tension in the body as you do that focus work. Sometimes in order to focus, everything else kind of tightens up a little bit. So we want to kind of just loosen up the back of the leg. And then when you're ready, switch to the other side. Slide that right leg in, slide the left leg back, toes curled under. Take a few rocks forward and back. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, slide the left leg in as well. Both sets of toes curled under. Take a few rocks forward and back just to stretch the toes, the bottoms of the feet. Beautiful. Now, the next time your butt comes back to your heels, we're going to stay here for an extra cycle of breath. So let your butt get nice and heavy. Gaze down at the floor, soft gaze, soft cheekbones, soft through the back of your body. Take a nice, generous inhale. Nice, slow exhale. Lift up, release your toes, but then we're going to sit back onto the heels. So with our toenails touching down to the ground, now we get that little stretch to the ankle. So butt back to the heels. See if you can sit all the way on up and then lean back just a little bit. Lift the knees just to your comfort level. This is going to vary in all of our bodies. So just make sure your ankles feel safe. Take one good breath. Nice. And then when you're ready, float yourself back to that tabletop position. Curl the toes under. Exhale up to downward facing dog. Take a few pedals of the legs. As you pedal your legs here, let your gaze focus on your toes. And then for a moment here, just notice your feet. Feet are about 2 fists apart from each other. That's an easy way to find that hip width distance apart. But for some of us, a wider position might feel good. So you just notice, what does it look like? What's the spacing between your feet look like? And what does it feel like? And then if it feels like it's not that comfortable, maybe play around with the idea of stepping your feet a little bit wider. Maybe play around with the idea of stepping your feet a little bit closer. And then once you've found a really nice, comfortable position, take one more moment. And then let that pedaling come to stillness. Let your heels be heavy. Heels do not have to touch the ground. Not all of our Achilles heels have that nice bit of stretch to them. So just notice how far your heels get down towards the ground. Notice how your shoulders feel. Take a nice big breath. Soften your knees, look forward. Eyes are going to look first. And now we're going to follow our gaze. So we're going to walk our feet up towards the top edge of your mat, come to a nice little folded ragdoll here. So feet about hip or shoulder distance apart. And then from here, we're going to focus our gaze again. So gaze to the back edge of your mat or to the wall behind you. And then once you've got a good gaze here, hold that gaze or hold that softened position with your eyes. So you want to just focus your eyes onto that point at the end of your mat. Relax the back of your neck. Let your arms be soft and heavy. One more moment here, just looking to the back edge of your mat. And then shift your focus. Look towards the front end of your mat. Bend your knees a lot. Pull your abdominal muscles in. Roll up to standing. Take your time as you come up. And then once you come up to that standing position, just give everything a second. Get yourself situated at the top of your mat, and then find your mountain pose again. So feet pointing fairly forward, feet about hip width distance apart, if that feels like a nice way to go. And then once you feel like you're here, focus your gaze forward. So whatever point is directly in front of your eye line, focus your eyes best you can, almost to the point where you feel like your vision crosses a little bit. So really tune into this one single point. And then as you tune into that single point, can you lift a little bit further up through the crown of your head, grow just a little taller, let your shoulders soften down. Take one more moment here with this nice focused gaze. Awesome. And then soften your gaze just a little bit. We're going to still keep our gaze forward, but without that single pointed focus. And now we're going to move into our heels and our ankles. So as you inhale, just lift your heels away from the floor. See if you can still keep your gaze forward. Exhale, lower your heels back down with control. Inhale and lift your heels up. Exhale, lower your heels down. One more just like that. Inhale, lift your heels up. Exhale, lower your heels down. Inhale, look up, arms up. Exhale, bend your knees, look down, fold down. Inhale to a half forward fold. So hands are going to gaze at the shins, gaze at the floor, bend your knees a lot, push into your feet, inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, hands to heart center, gaze follows the hands. Hands down at your sides. Inhale, look up, arms up. Exhale, bend your knees and fold, look down. Inhale, half forward fold, look to the shins and then look to the floor. Keep that nice long back, bend your knees, push into your feet. Inhale, look up, arms up. Hands to heart center, gaze follows the hands. Hands down at your sides. Inhale, look up, arms up. Exhale, bend your knees, look down, fold down. Inhale, half forward fold, gaze to the shins, gaze to the floor. Keep that nice long spine, bend your knees, push into your feet, look up, hands up. Hands to heart center, gaze follows. Hands down at your sides. Nice. Now reach your left hand behind, grab hold of the right elbow pit, get a little hand hold there, and then drop your ear away from that shoulder. So you're holding onto the right arm, drop your left ear to your left shoulder. Take 3 nice big breaths here. Awesome. Lift your head to a neutral position, release, take it to the other side. So right hand is going to grab hold of the left elbow pit or whatever grab works good for you. Drop your right ear over to your right shoulder. Soft gaze, soft jaw. Take 3 nice big breaths. Bring your head to neutral, release your hands, come back to your mountain pose. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, bend your knees, look down, fold down. Inhale, half forward fold, gaze at the floor or gaze slightly forward. Exhale to soften down, stepping the right leg back. We're going to come into warrior 2. So drop the back heel, turn the toes out. Right hand is going to pick you up, and then right away, the gaze is to that left hand. So looking past your right middle or your left middle finger, gazing forward, nice and strong. Imagine you're reaching out through the fingertips. So we're going to light up from the soles of the feet out through the fingertips, reach out through the crown of the head, but the gaze stays forward, just staring right past that point of the middle finger. Take 1 more breath. And we're going to take it into peaceful warrior. So looking to that left hand, flip the palm. So palm is facing up towards the ceiling. Right hand is going to slip behind the back. So rather than touching down to the thigh this time, slide your hand to the low back. Once you've got yourself there, look to that left hand. Look to the left hand, look up, let your gaze lead the way. Let your hand follow the gaze. Beautiful, with control. Gaze leads the way, lower back down, release the hand from the low back, reach it back to that warrior position, flip that palm, gaze past the middle finger, take 1 good breath. Nice, and now we're gonna cartwheel the hands down to the ground. So pivot the back heel, spin your hands around, look forward, heart forward, take a breath. Plant your palms, step back to plank, gaze down at the floor. Broaden your shoulders, firm up your center, hold that plank for 1 more moment. Release your knees, gaze stays down at the floor, elbows hug into the ribs, lower with control. Inhale up to cobra, gaze leads the way. So as you inhale, look up, lift up. Exhale, look down, lower down. Curl the toes under, either take it through a tabletop or power up to a plank, but gazes down at the floor. Exhale up to downward facing dog. Look to your feet. Look forward. Walk your feet up to meet your hands. Inhale, half forward fold, gaze forward slightly. Exhale to lower down, bend your knees a lot, pull your abdominal muscles in, roll up nice and slow and controlled. Roll your shoulders around, down and back, gaze forward, lift up through the crown of your head. Inhale, look up, arms up. Exhale, bend your knees, look down and fold. Inhale, half forward fold, gaze slightly forward. Exhale to soften down, left leg back, warrior two. We drop the back heel, turn the toes out. Left hand is going to pick you up right away. We're looking past that right hand. So looking to the middle finger, reaching energetically. So think about lifting from the soles of the feet, up the legs, up the side body, out through the fingertips. So we reach through the arms. One more moment here, just focusing the gaze. Take your left hand, slide it behind the low back, flip the right palm, look to the palm. Eyes look first, we look up to the sky, let the hand follow the gaze. Go just as far as feels good to you and then hold it there for a moment. Beautiful, release with control, eyes first. Release the hand from the low back, flip the right palm, gaze forward. And then from here, spin the hands down to the ground, pivot the back heel so we come through runner's lunge, look forward, heart forward, take a breath. Plant your palms, step back to plank, gaze down at the floor. Beautiful, bring the knees down, rotate the eyes of the elbows, lower with control onto your belly. Inhale, eyes up, lift up. Exhale to lower down, either push your way up to a plank or through a tabletop, totally up to you, but gaze down at the floor. And then find your way to downward facing dog, looking toward your feet or to the back edge of your mat. Soften your knees, look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands. Inhale, half forward fold, gaze comes forward. Exhale to soften down, bend your knees a lot, pull your abdominal muscles in, roll up to standing. Roll your shoulders around, down and back. We're gonna bring the heels together, toes out. So think a little Pilates V, so heels together, toes turned out just a little bit. And once you have your way here, we're gonna do 3 heel lifts. So gaze is forward, reaching up through the crown of your head, nice and stable in your center. Inhale, just lift your heels away from the ground. Exhale to lower down with control. Inhale to lift up, gaze forward. Exhale to lower down. Nice, one more just like that. Inhale, lift up. Exhale to lower down, reposition your feet so that the heels are back in line. So we've got that nice parallel position or fairly parallel position with the feet into your mountain pose. And when you're ready, inhale, look up, arms up. Exhale, look down and fold. Inhale, half forward fold, gaze lifts slightly. Exhale to soften down, step the right leg back, warrior two. Drop the back heel, turn the toes out, right hand picks you up, gaze forward, past the left middle finger. Peaceful warrior, back hand slides behind you, flip that left palm, look up, let the hand follow. Release with control, back through that warrior two, gaze past the middle finger. Spin your hands down to the ground, pivot your back heel, look forward, heart forward. Plant your palms, gaze down, find your plank. Lower your knees, rotate the eyes of the elbows, lower with control. Inhale, look up and lift up. Exhale to downward facing dog or through table to downward facing dog. Right leg is going to come up into 3-legged dog. We're going to bend the knee, let the hip roll open, which means that the foot is over to the left. Can you look under your left armpit? Look towards that right foot, circle your foot in one direction. Circle your foot the other way. Beautiful, look forward. Step that foot through to the top of your mat into a runner's lunge. Heart forward, look forward, take a breath. Left foot's gonna step up to meet into forward fold, gaze down at the floor. Inhale, half forward fold, gaze forward. Exhale to soften down, press firm into your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms up, look up. Hands to heart center. Hands down at your sides. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, look down and fold. Inhale, half forward fold, gaze lift slightly. Exhale to soften down, left leg back, warrior two. Drop the back heel down, turn the toes out. Left hand picks you up, look past the right middle finger. Slide that left hand behind the low back, flip the right palm, gaze first, hand follows, lift up into peaceful warrior. Release through warrior two, look past the middle finger, spin the hands down to the ground, pivot your back heel. Look forward, heart forward, take a breath. Plant the palms, step back to your plank, gaze down at the floor, bring the knees down, rotate the eyes of the elbows, hug elbows into ribs, lower with control. Inhale up to cobra, eyes look first, the chest follows. Exhale up to down dog, look to your feet. Left leg up into three-legged dog, bend the knee, let the hip roll open. That means the left foot is over to the right. Can you look under the right armpit? See your left foot, circle your foot in one direction. Circle your foot the other way. Beautiful, let that come to stillness. Step your left foot through to the top of your mat into your runner's lunge. Look forward, heart forward, take a breath. Right foot's gonna step up to meet, find your forward fold, gaze down at the floor. Inhale, half forward fold, gaze forward. Exhale to soften down, gaze at the floor. Inhale, look up, sweep the arms up and overhead. Hands to heart center. Hands down at your sides. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, look down and fold. Inhale, half forward fold, gaze lift slightly. Exhale to soften down, step both feet back to downward facing dog. Looking at your feet or looking to the back edge of your mat, take a nice big breath. Beautiful. Pick up your heels, lower your knees, come into tabletop. We're going to take it right into our cow face prep pose. So get yourself situated near your table in a way that feels good. Extend your right leg out, straight out from the hips. Swing your left toes over to the right side of your mat. Tuck your right knee behind your left knee. So knees are stacked, toes pointing in opposite directions. We're going to draw the butt back towards the heels, gazing down at the floor. And then come forward. Turn your head to the right, but let your eyes lead the way as you pull your butt back toward your heels. Eyes return to center, head returns to center, bring yourself back up. Turn your eyes to the left, let your head follow, pull your butt back toward your heels. Eyes return to center, head returns to center, bring it back up and in. Unwind those legs, bop your hips a little side to side just to shake it all out. And then we're going to take all of that to the other side. So left leg is going to extend out from the hip, right toes over to the left side of your mat, left knee behind the right. Knees are stacked, toes in opposite direction, gazing down at the floor. Pull your butt back towards your heels. And then come forward. Eyes look first, head follows. Turn your eyes to the left, head to the left, pull your butt back to your heels. Eyes return to center, head to center, bring it forward. Eyes look to the right, head follows, pull your butt back towards your heels. Eyes return to center, head returns to center, bring your butt back up. Unwind your legs, find your tabletop position, bop your hips a little bit side to side. Awesome, and then from here, we're gonna just find our way into Sukhasana. So if you can, crisscross your feet, sit back onto your heels, and then find your Sukhasana position. From here, we're gonna take it right into a twist. So left hand's gonna find the right knee, right hand behind you. Find your twist first, just for this one, find your twist, and then turn your eyes, let your eyes look further, let your head follow your gaze. Turn your eyes just as far as you can, and then notice how far just adding that gaze, that focused gaze, might draw you a little bit deeper into your twist. Once you've found your edge, take a nice big breath. Can you notice the movement of breath in your ribs? Keep that focused gaze, keep looking past your shoulder. Take one more breath. Beautiful. And then soften your gaze and soften your rotation. So heart is going to point towards the knee, and then eyes are going to lead the charge. Inhale, lift your eyes, lift your chest, arch the back. Exhale, look down, round your back, eyes go first. Inhale, eyes lift up, lift your chest, arch your back. Eyes look down, round the back. And then do that one more time. Inhale, lift, eyes look first. Exhale, round, eyes look first. Find a neutral position with the spine. Come back to center, pause in your center, take a nice big breath. Beautiful. And now we're going to take our rotation to the other side. So find your rotation first, just for this part. Find that good leverage rotation. Once you feel like you're there, you're feeling like you're at your edge because you've got that leverage in. Now turn your head, turn your eyes, look past that shoulder as far as your eyes will allow. See if that takes you a little deeper into that twist. And then once you've found your edge here, take a breath. Can you notice the movement of breath in your ribs? Take one more breath. Soften your gaze, rotate your heart so that your heart is pointing toward your knee. And now the eyes are going to lead the way. Look up, inhale, lift your chest. Look down, exhale, round your back. Eyes first, inhale, look up, lift your chin, arch your back. Look down, round your back. One more time, look up. Look down, round your back. Lift to a neutral position, unwind both hands behind the back. Nice tall fingers, squeeze the shoulder blades together, eyes first. Lift your eyes, lift your chin. Feel that nice opening through the front of the body. Keep your eyes looking upward as far as they can. Take one more moment. Beautiful. And then release all that. Soles of the feet are going to come together into our butterfly position. So get your butterfly arranged in a way that works good for you. Catch hold of your toes. Eyes are going to look first. So you're going to look your eyes forward like you're reaching your eyes across the room, and then let your eyes lead the way. Lean your heart forward to follow the gaze. Go just as far as your gaze allows. So once you feel like you found your edge, your body doesn't want to go any further, just keep looking forward, reaching with only your eyes. Take one more moment. Look up slightly, lift up through that gaze, help your knees come together, and then we're going to find our way down onto our back. So come down in any way that works good for you. Take your time as you come down, and then just get everything situated so it all feels good. We're going to come right into a figure four. So right leg is going to come across the left, a nice little firmness in that right foot so the knee feels happy. Lift the left leg up, thread your hands through with a light handhold. Take your figure four, draw it in a couple of circles, go in one direction. You know what you're doing from here, so see if you can just focus your eyes or focus your gaze up towards the ceiling. Take your figure four, draw it in circles, go the other way. Awesome. Neutral gaze, looking up towards the ceiling. Let your figure four come to stillness and then start to draw it into your comfort level. So hug it in, soften your shoulders, relax your eyes, just gently staring up at a point at the ceiling. Shoulders are soft. Keeping your gaze up towards the ceiling, but see if you can notice in the periphery of your vision, can you notice the walls around you? Can you notice your right foot? Can you get a sense of where your shoulders are? Do they feel a little rounded up? Can you soften your shoulders down? Take one more moment. And then when you're ready, slowly and mindfully release. We're going to take that all to the other side. So step your right leg off. You might choose to take a moment to notice how it feels. And then when you're ready, left leg across the right, lift the right leg up, thread your hands through, get a light handhold, take your figure four, draw it in circles. Gaze is up at the ceiling. You know what you're doing. Take your figure four, draw it in circles, go the other way. Awesome. And then let that circling come to stillness. Draw the legs in to your comfort level. Shoulders are soft. Gaze is still up at the ceiling, so we want to keep that focused gaze. As you focus your gaze, maybe you tune in and notice. Can you, in your periphery, without having to move your eyes, without having to move your head, can you notice your left foot? Can you get a sense of the walls around you? Can you see your shoulders? Are your shoulders hiked up and rounded? Can you soften your shoulders down? One more breath. Beautiful. When you're ready, slowly release, step your left foot off, and we're going to move right into supine twist. So pull the right knee into your chest. Left leg is going to go nice and long. Take that right knee over and across the body to the left, just as far as you like. Let your right hand open out nice and wide. And then once you've got your body into a position that you like, now you're going to use your gaze to take you a little further. So you're going to turn your head to the right if you can, and then look your eyes as far to the right as you can, holding that eye position. So focus your gaze. And then once you've got it there, focus gaze, keeping your eyes open if you can, which sometimes will make our eyes water just a little bit, but see if you can find that focus gaze and hold that focus gaze for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Soften your gaze or blink your eyes, whatever you need to do. And then when you're ready, return your head to center, pull your knee into your chest, a light little squeeze. Left knee is going to come into meet, so both knees are going to hug in. And then hold on to your left knee, let your right leg go nice and long, and we'll supine twist to the other side. So take that left knee over and across the body. Let your left arm open out nice and wide. So you get your spinal twist first, and then once you're there, turn your head to the left if that feels comfortable. And then the eyes are going to finish the work. So eyes are going to look as far to the left as they can. Once you've got that held position, that focused gaze, hold your eyes open if you can. Hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blink your eyes or soften your gaze. And then when you're ready, return your head to center. Pull the left knee into your chest, a light little squeeze. Bring the right knee into meet. So both knees are going to hug into the chest. And then we're going to go legs up the wall, but with a soft bend of the knee. So float your feet up towards the sky. Make sure your tailbone feels good about this position. And then we're going to focus our gaze on our feet. So you're going to look up at the feet. First, just start by noticing the little subtle variations. You might have a little variations in the spacing of your toes, little variations in your toenails, little variations in your bones. You might have a freckle on one foot compared to the other. So just look at your feet and notice. Awesome. And then focus your gaze just on your right big toe. Focus your gaze on your second right toe. Focus your gaze on your third right toe. Focus your gaze on your fourth right toe. Focus your gaze on your last little right toe. Spread your right toes as wide as you can. Keep your left foot as neutral as you can. Soften your toes, soften your gaze, and we're going to take it to the other side. So focus your gaze on your left big toe. Focus your gaze on your second left toe. Focus your gaze on your third left toe. Focus your gaze on your fourth left toe. Focus your gaze on your left pinky toe. Spread your toes as wide as you can. Focus your gaze on all 5 toes. Relax your toes, soften your gaze. And now we're going to come back to the right leg, but now we're just going to do a little lymphatic movement. So keep your left leg as stationary as you can. Give your right leg a good gentle shake. If it feels good to do so, just for a moment here, just because we've been doing all this focus work on the eyes, keep your right leg a shaken, close your eyes down, and just for a moment, see if you can just notice that little flutter of filtered light behind your eyelids. Awesome. Open your eyes, let your right leg come to stillness, give your left leg a good shake. Once you got that leg shaken and you know what you're doing, close your eyes down. See if you can notice just that little vibration or that flutter of filtered light as your left leg gets that good shake going on. Nice. And then when you're ready, left leg comes to stillness, open your eyes, gently pull both knees into your chest, give yourself a light little squeeze. And then just to find a little reset, hold on to your knees. Knees are going to push into the hands. Hands are going to resist. So legs are strong. You're going to feel your back fire up just a little bit. Arms are nice and strong. Hold that position for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax, release your feet back down to the ground, and then ask your body where would be your best Shavasana. Would it feel good to come to constructive rest? Can be super supportive to the low back. Would it feel good to come to reclined cobbler's pose? We didn't hit the hips very hard today, so do you need a little extra something there? Or does it feel good to take that more traditional shape? You take any shape of the body that feels right to you, and especially if you're in a chilly room, just take a second to grab a blanket or put your socks or your sweater on, whatever feels right. Start to bring your awareness back into your body. Gently wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes. If your eyes are still closed down, maybe just notice the filtered light behind your eyelids. And then if it feels good to do so, gently open your eyes, gently rock your head side to side, maybe allowing your eyes to lead the way, turning your eyes first and letting your head follow. Take one more turn of the head side to side. And then as your head comes back to center, maybe stretch your legs nice and long, reach your arms up and overhead, reach through your fingers, reach through your toes, take a nice big breath back into your body. And then in your own way, at your own pace, start to find your way up to a comfortable seated positions, which might mean Sukhasana or any other seat that feels really nice in your body and allows you to sit up nice and tall. And then we are going to take our glasses off again. So just in maybe a position that allows you to set your glasses somewhere safe. If you are wearing glasses, go ahead and take a second to put them somewhere safe. And then we're going to fire up the palms again. So maybe the little crisscross of the fingers, maybe you choose to leave that part off. That part's totally up to you at this point, but we would just want to get a little bit of a nice, almost electric sensation in the hands. So see if you can feel that sense of firing up. If it helps, close your eyes down right away. So you just even tune into the sensations of that connection of your palms. And then once you feel like your hands are nice and good and hot, heels of the hands are going to cup around the eyes. Gently lean in. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Maybe with your eyes closed here just for a moment, with your hands still cupping the eyes, notice that sense of darkness, the lack of filtered light that's coming in. Notice if you see any little speckles or spots of light, no right or wrong, but just notice. And then keeping your eyes closed if you can, as you gently lift your head up and away, releasing your palms from your eyes, but keep the eyelids down. Just let your hands relax anywhere that feels the most comfortable. And then just notice that filtered light coming in from behind your eyelids. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Keeping the eyes closed if you can, stack both hands right on top of your heart. Breathing in love and gratitude for yourself, for your mind, for your body, and for all of your hard work. And breathe in a little extra love and gratitude that you can carry with you through the rest of your day and share with everyone you see. Bring your prayer hands together. Thumbs are going to touch the space right between your eyebrows. A little hope that you might find a little peace in your thoughts. Bring your thumbs to your lips with a little hope that you might find peace in your words. Bring your thumbs to your heart with a little hope that you'll find a little peace in your heart today. And then when you feel ready, gently lift up through the top of your head, gently open your eyes. I bow to you. Happy Tuesday. You guys are amazing. Woo, that was a lot of focused work.